All right, good morning. Good morning. It is Serenity before sunrise, and we are just here trying to make sure we have a wonderful start to the day. And I am your host, Sophia Antoine. Welcome in. It is Wednesday, it is the middle of the week. I don't care which Wednesday you're watching this, it is still Wednesday. So, welcome. I am glad that you are here. And we are continuing on in the series of quieting the inner voices, the three inner voices that probably speak the loudest to you. By my determination of all the people that I've coached and encountered, these are the three voices that I've heard the most. They may come in different forms. They may come as your mom, your dad, an ex, somebody that was in a position of authority, quote unquote, over you, and you just internalized their voice and started um, thinking it was your own, thinking it was your conscience or self talks. You've internalized them and you kind of drowned out your own voice. So we're trying to reclaim that and make things better for you. Okay? So today we are talking about the victim. The victim is interesting, and the victim is also my favorite voice in the trilogy. Why? Because it's not saying that you yourself are a victim, but this voice is the one that keeps score of every disappointment, every time you've been hurt. This voice is the one that is kind of your warning sign. Well, she can turn into your warning sign. It This voice also kind of notes when things are being done to you unfairly, and we all know life is not fair. However, this is like to the extreme. This voice, like I said, it can definitely make sure that you avoid pitfalls, but it sometimes goes above and beyond the call of duty, and you miss out on some good things, some good experience, some good people because it's overly protective. So the victim isn't a weak part of you, so to speak. She's been wounded and helps you recognize a pattern that's too close to something that you've been through before. So if it gets dangerously close, she starts warning you to back away. And I say she just because I'm a woman. So you can re-gender your voice as you so choose. All right. This voice does not want you to be hurt again. It wants to protect you. This voice ultimately wants you to heal, and that's why it tries to keep you away from the things that it thinks is going to hurt you. So, of the three voices, again, the victim is my favorite because the intentions are completely and totally pure. Unlike the judge or the one that we call the comparison voice, the victim legitimately wants to help you. The other ones kind of bash you and want to do you harm. So, the first step in recognizing the fact that you have a victim voice, it's being or experiencing victimhood is not a phase. It is a phase. It's not your personality trait. Let me rephrase that because I think I totally messed it up. Being that you have this voice, it does not mean that you are a victim. It means that you are going through a phase that you clearly recognize now that we're talking about it that needs to be healed. It is not your personality. So, if somebody says to you, if you voice your complaint or you voice that you feel a type of way and somebody says, stop playing the victim, that's not your personality. It's the fact that you're saying, hey, I am recognizing this as something I've been through before and it's getting dangerously close, and I'm just letting you know because I care about this interaction we're having. I care about this relationship, and I want to feel comfortable, feel safe in it. And right now, whatever this is that's going on, I don't feel safe. Okay? And um, you don't have to become what hurts you. And of course, I have my handy dandy notebook. Keep my notebook because I don't want to miss out on telling you anything. But you don't have to become what hurt you. It's not true that nothing ever works out for you. It just feels like that because it turns into a snowball sometimes. One thing goes wrong, and then another thing goes wrong. And then before you know it, seven things have gone wrong. But you have to also realize when things are going right for you, you don't even think about nothing ever going right for you, right? So it's just about perspective at that moment. You're in the midst of it. So try to refrain from speaking in absolutes like nothing and never and ever and things like that. It's not true. It's just the way it feels. You're welcome to voice it. You're welcome to journal it. But just make sure you realize that it may not be true consistently. All right? Maybe it's time to try another approach, reframing. You have to figure out what that is for yourself. I can talk you through it, I can walk you through it, but ultimately the decision has to be your own. All right, the next one is you can, and I strongly advise that you acknowledge that you're hurt and reclaim your autonomy, because a lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact that they've been hurt or that something that somebody did hurt them. They try to play hard and it just does more damage. If you admit that something hurts you and work to actively to work past it or get past it, or at least acknowledge that it happened, things will probably work out better. You spend more time not treading water. So to listen, I have a healthy respect of water. So this is a great analogy to use when things are changing. If you get in the water and you feel the current going one way, you have to work exponentially harder to go against that current. But in the case of feelings, if you go with it, feel through it, get to the end of it, you'll be done. And it'll take less time. People stay in cycles simply because they fight against the cycle. So stop fighting it. Sometimes when you're working through these emotional things, these traumatic things, although it is extremely difficult, you can and you will be better for just going through it. The quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. But feelings aren't straight. They're not linear, so scratch that. Anyway, and determine that you are willing to heal. And that kind of just makes that other point. You being willing to go through it and to heal through whatever it is half the battle. Acknowledging that it is a thing is more than half the battle. So that's basically your foundation right there. So number 2, just a trait of the victim. The victim is a messenger. She shows up to acknowledge your hurt. She tries to offer the apologies that you're owed, but may likely never get. Or maybe you'll get years down the line. But the victim is trying to help you to acknowledge that something happened and apologize for it in advance. Like, I know you didn't want it to turn out this way, however it did, so let's go in another direction. And that's not being avoidant. The victim is actually, again, just trying to protect you and to make sure that you acknowledge that this is dangerously close to something you've been through before. The victim also exists to remind you that you're not imagining this pain. And I think that is so important because people like to think that, okay, maybe I'm not really feeling all the feels that I'm having right now. But you are. You're not imagining the pain. You are hurt. People respond to hurts differently. Something that you may take to heart, I may just let it roll off my back. And that's okay. We are different for a reason. That's why differences are so important. And acknowledging the differences are so important. Again, we may not react to things the same way. So the thing happened, and it happened for you exactly how you felt it. I acknowledge that. And it's okay. And it is safe to say it happened for you that way. The victim is there to validate those feelings. The victim also provides proof that you survived. Now, if I don't say anything else throughout this entire video, the victim is there to let you know you survived. Why? Because you don't feel things if you're not a survivor. You don't feel it if it didn't happen. So your victim is there to honor your strength through whatever it is you went through. All right? You don't want to ignore the victim because that voice just keeps getting louder and louder and louder. And sis will become disruptive. Sis will wreck your whole entire being if you ignore the victim. Again, only referring to the victim as a she because I am a female. But although you try, you're just going to go through the same cycle if you ignore her. And it's going to get worse. it's just going to be bad. I don't know how else to explain it. And you can just think back through your own life to say things that you've tried to ignore, how it got worse. Try listening to the warnings and gently let your victim know that you're paying attention. But you could, again, with these self talks, you got to talk back. Because if your victim is saying, hey, this is going bad, this is going like something else that hurt us, just say, hey, I understand. I acknowledge, I see it and I feel it just like you do. But let's play this out to the end because I'm going to make some different decisions than I did the first time to see what will happen. Now, will that prevent you from getting hurt? Probably. Probably not. It's a 50-50. But what you've managed to do is help that voice stay calm and be like, okay, I did my job by warning her. I did my job by letting her know how I feel. She says she got it, so let's see. The only thing that can really happen is your victim has another thing on their little notepad to say, okay, when this happened and this happened, this was the result. So now we can either try a new way again because we already knows the way this way doesn't work, or we can just pull back and go a different direction altogether. You maintain your sense of autonomy and your sense of self when you have choices. Choices are so important. So, now that we have all of that backstory, how can we start to heal our victim voice? Give her structure. People, just like they say, children do well with structure. They want rules because they know what to expect. Your victim voice wants to know what to expect as well. So get her used to a routine. Start journaling. Get everything out. Let her speak. Let her say what she wants to say because she has a voice for a reason. And then, again, acknowledge it. Live from a place of peace. Now that it's all out of your head, you got it down on paper. The victim will be quiet. You need to start to unlearn some difficult patterns that you've picked up throughout the years. Your victim will start, like I said in the beginning, to morph into your intuition. Now, she will be okay with sounding a soft alarm because she knows, okay, Sophia will listen to me now, so I don't have to be loud. I don't have to be outrageous. I don't got to wreck her whole day and make her crash out. All I have to do is say, hey, I'm noticing this, and she'll take care of it. So, your affirmation for today: I can acknowledge my pain without becoming it. I'll repeat it. I can acknowledge my pain without becoming it. Your action steps for today: just like the first 2 days, I want you to find that victim voice in your head. What is she saying? Acknowledge it. See how you feel about that. I know that the situation is hard and it's probably hard to acknowledge, but share your win if you want to. Email me, DM me, comment under the video wherever it's posted, comment under the reel, whatever you want to do. Share with somebody else, even if this message isn't for you. But I can't stress enough, this message, this series, anything I say may not be for you, but it could be for somebody else. Share it out. It's only a press of a button, and it may help somebody. All right, so I hope you have a fabulous Wednesday. I am so enjoying being here with you in the mornings again. Hopefully it lasts. I'm having a fantabulous time. I hope you are too. Give me your feedback. I'm welcoming your feedback. I love to talk. I love to dialogue. So please feel free to reach out. All right, so have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.